Mr. Leader, you brought up polls, so let me tell you about a new one that just came out here at CNN this morning. It shows that only 19% of Americans say that your party can get things done. 36 say the same about Republicans. And just 16% say your party has strong leaders. It's pretty rough, and you are one of those.
Holy, no, I'll put that back on the screen. Look, holy moly guacamole. Oh, man. Blow it up. Take a picture of it. Screenshot it. Put it on the wall. Oh, man. And why do they call him a leader? Democrat. Why? Look at this scum. Got that Diddy all on his forehead. He done rubbed Diddy all on his forehead. And they want to call him a leader. Yeah, buddy. Just from the complete, look at him. Don't know what to say. Look at it. And I don't even believe it's 16 and 19. Has strongly. I believe it's worse than this. But we know the fake news media won't pull out the real numbers. I believe it's 9% and 6%. I think they added that 10 on there. That's what I think would happen. They added 10 on there. And we know what the Republic, the numbers are higher over there, People are rooting for President Trump in America now. They are rooting for President Trump right now, man. Democrats, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Look at this fellow with this Diddy all on his forehead, though. Look at all that Diddy.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our citizens. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
I don't even know why I'm wasting time with this one, but hey, here we are, He calls the big, beautiful bill the big, ugly bill. We can already sum this up. They're going to probably talk, something's going to be said about, their same scam talking points about billionaires and this and that. They're going to cut this. They're going to cut Medicaid. They're going to take your rights away. They're going to walk into your house and just take everything, I guess. You won't be able to live. They're going to send you to some kind of camp. When is the dictate starting? The big bad orange man is destroying the country. And he up here just same disgrace, a face, Diddy all on his forehead. I mean, just the same scum, the so-called leader who comes on here and say a whole bunch of nothing, And this is why it gets worse and worse for the Democrat Party. This is why. And then we go on CNN with Dana Bash, the fake news media, the mainstream. This is why people hate the mainstream media. This is why. So let's just go and get into it. I hope everybody that is tuned in right now, that you're having an amazing start to your week. Happy Monday. I hope that you are blessed, well, and healthy. It's one love to the human race. Your boy gonna come here and keep it real. I know y'all be laughing. I be cracking them jokes and saying what I say, but hey, I got to keep it real, man. People are sick and tired of this crap. Politics is already a dirty game. People are sick of the BS. People are sick of the crap, man. These people make it no better. Come on here with the same scam talking points, repeating the same crap when everybody know what's actually going on. The man is trying to clean up a complete mess. Trying to turn this thing around. It was a mandate. The people spoke loud and clear. And they come on here and repeat the same crap. The same BS. People sick of this crap. Billionaires are going to take your rights away. They're cutting everything. They're destroying America. This so-called leader. All right, let's get into it.
Here with me now is the House Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries. Thank you so much for being here this morning, sir. I want to start with that bill. You have vowed to keep the pressure on and stop it from becoming law. Obviously, you're in the minority. Same goes with Democrats in the Senate. How will you do that?
Trump's one big ugly bill narrowly escaped the House of Representatives, and we're going to continue to press our case across the country, partner with Senate Democrats in making clear to the American people the type of damage that this bill would do if it ever became law. This bill actually hurts everyday Americans in order to reward billionaires. It would strip away.
Oh, I told y'all what he look, and I didn't even know what he was going. I didn't even look at this interview. All I seen was the introduction clip of them putting them poll numbers up. You know, I didn't even know what he was going to say during this, and I guessed in the beginning of this. In the beginning of the show, I told y'all, just watch what he says. Something about billionaires, this and that. I told y'all, it's the same scam talking point, the same crap. A whole bunch of nothing. People are sick of hearing this crap, man.
Health care from approximately 14 million Americans. Premiums, co-pays, and deductibles for tens of millions more will go up. Actually, if it ever were to be implemented into law, hospitals will close, nursing homes will shut down, and people will literally die. At the same time, this bill represents the largest cut to nutritional assistance in American history. It takes food out of the mouths of children, seniors, and veterans, and all of this is being done in order to enact massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors like Elon Musk, and then they want to stick the American people with the bill, increase the debt by more than $5 trillion. So I expect that you'll see strong Democratic opposition in the Senate, just like there was strong Democratic opposition in the House, and the bill just narrowly escaped the House of Representatives.
You made these arguments before it passed the House.
Somebody said, this guy makes John Featherman look like a genius.
Democrats are going to make that argument in the Senate, but again, you don't have the votes. So what makes you think that what you're saying will prevail and change the outcome?
The bill is deeply unpopular. If you go back to where we were in 2017, where Republicans, after several failed attempts, finally got their effort to repeal the Affordable Care Act out of the House of Representatives, but it limped out of the House and then failed in the Senate. I think the one big ugly bill is setting up for a similar fate, but we can't let our foot off the gas pedal.
I want to ask you about something that happened in your home state of New York. In the past couple of days, Congressman Jerry Nadler said that DHS agents entered his congressional office on Wednesday without a warrant and handcuffed a member of his staff. This, of course, comes after the Trump Justice Department charged Democratic Congresswoman LaMonica McIver with obstructing ICE agents after an altercation at a facility in Newark, New Jersey. Now, I know you previously warned that the administration charging members of Congress was a, quote, red line. What are you doing now that the red line you talked about has apparently been crossed?
Well, let me make clear that the House is a separate and co-equal branch of government, the Congress. We don't work for Donald Trump. We don't work for the administration. We don't work for Elon Musk. We work for the American people. And we have a responsibility to serve as a check and balance on an out-of-control executive branch. That's the constitutional blueprint that was given to us by the frame.
You do nothing. You get nothing done. You are a disgrace, sir. They ought to walk you out in handcuffs live on set. I'm sick of looking at them. I'm telling you. You know, just a whole bunch of nothing. I'm honestly mad that I got into this, but you know, we got to cover and keep y'all updated and show y'all how bad it's gotten. You know, and they bring this clown up, all this Diddy all on his forehead.
Of the United States.
They repeat the same crap. I mean, it's like they're all on the same script. You know, if anything good can happen, if the best thing can happen, and even if Trump made it to where it even benefits them and makes, you know, everybody happy, they will still come out and say no, bad. It ain't good. It's doing this. It's destroying America. It's going to make it hard for the hardworking American citizens. It's the same scam talking points. It's just Trump bad, fear mongering, propaganda, the same rhetoric, the same crap. Oh man, I'm sick of it, man. Democrats ought to be ashamed of themselves, man. But this is why they at, and I can't wait till they get to this point where they pull these numbers out, and he just dumbfounded, don't know what to do, and probably going to repeat this after she put the numbers up there. He probably going to repeat us another same scam talking point, another deranged point, a whole bunch of nothing, man.
It's democracy that we have inherited over the last few centuries. And so we're going to continue to undertake our congressional responsibility, notwithstanding efforts by the Trump administration to try to intimidate Democrats. It's unfortunate that our Republican colleagues continue to be nothing more than rubber stamps for Trump's reckless and extreme agenda. And the American people, I think, will ultimately reject that next year when we will take back control of the House of Representatives. In the meantime, in terms of how we will
they're going to be in 2030, like 2030, 2032, 2040, saying Trump might be dead and passed away, and they still going to be saying Trump.
On to what Trump and the administration has endeavored to do, we will make that decision in a time, place, and manner of our choosing, but the response will be continuous, and it will meet the moment that is required.
What exactly does that mean? Have you not decided how to respond?
It's actually getting to the point where CNN is like, we don't even know why we even bring him on. As much as they hate America and President Trump, they even know it's getting bad with Democrats. Even though they hate America and President Trump and the bias. They know it's got even worse with Democrats. Look at that. Look at her facial expression. She's like, I don't even know why we brought this clown on. This is a waste of time. He got all this Diddy oil on his forehead.
We've publicly responded in a variety of different ways. We haven't let our foot off the gas pedal in terms of additional things that may take place with respect to our congressional oversight authority and capacity. We will respond in a time, place, and manner of our choosing if this continues to happen.
She's like, oh, this is a whole bunch of nothing. Can we please pull the poll numbers up? Can we please put some numbers up? Because he just doesn't get it. He comes on here and say the same thing.
You believe, as Jerry Nadler said, that the administration is trying to intimidate Democrats?
I think the administration is clearly trying to intimidate Democrats in the same way that they're trying to intimidate the country. This whole shock and awe strategy,
intimidate the country
zone with outrageous behavior that they've tried to unleash on the American people during the first few months of the Trump administration is all designed to create the appearance of inevitability. But Donald Trump has learned an important lesson. The American people aren't interested in bending the knee to a wannabe king. It's the reason why Donald Trump.
Here we go with the same scam talking point. King, kingdom. He wants to be king. Oh.
Actually is the most unpopular president at this point of a presidency in American history. The American people have rejected this approach. And we as congressional Democrats will continue to reject this.
Look, Dana's like, whoa. You really think he's the most unpopular president right now? Whoa. Let's pull these poll numbers up.
Approach.
Mr. Leader, you brought up polls, so let me tell you about a new one that just came out here at CNN this morning.
On CNN. And it's bad because CNN don't never have their numbers right. CNN don't never have them numbers right. When we look at Trump's polls numbers or the Republican side, we do have to add, add an extra 15-20% to stuff because that's how bad the polls be off. They don't ever want to tell the truth, So when we see numbers like this, We know it's looking good on Trump's end. That's why she had to cut him off and say, look at these polls and look at Democrats. And I believe they added that extra 10%. It should say 9 and 6. 9 and 6. What y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. Just look at this. Take a picture of it. Frame it. Put it on your wall. Hang this up, Hakeem. Brother Jeffries, hang this up.
Morning, it shows that only 19% of Americans say that your party can get things done. 36 say the same about Republicans. And just 16% say your party has strong leaders. It's pretty rough. And
y'all got Ayo, y'all got that bartender, that lady that gets up live on TV, screaming and hollering. Don't know what she talking about, screaming due process. One of her eyelashes then fell out. You know, it's just Trump and Elon Musk is bad. You know, and I'm a black woman. So hire me. I'm a DEI hire. You know, yeah. Keep sending her out. And then she comes up in a recent interview saying Biden was sharp as a tack. Yeah, you know. And Bernie Sanders and AOC flying around. I tell you, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
You are one of those leaders. How do you turn that around?
Yeah, we don't have the presidency right now, so that's always going to be challenging a few months after a presidential election. But we have to continue to make the case, one, that Democrats, of course, are the party that is determined to make life more affordable.
And then same scam, lie, just flat out lying. You know you lying. Y'all don't want to make anything affordable. Y'all don't want to have any common sense. You vote against the people. You don't want to get up and clap for the people. You don't want to call grieving families. You know, they don't get any due process. People say the party, they didn't leave the party left them, sir. The party left them. Before they can leave the party left them. And people are just walking away.
Everyday Americans, for hardworking American taxpayers, that we believe that we need to lower the high cost of living, which for decades has been going up while the size of the middle class has been going down. So understandably, there's real frustration amongst the American people. They should be frustrated.
But they're frustrated with you as well, with Democrats as well.
Of course, they're frustrated with the system. But what is interesting, Dana, I think you're aware of this, every single public poll that has come out since the Trump presidency has had congressional Democrats winning the generic ballot against congressional Republicans. And in fact, we know this is not simply speculative. In every single high-profile special election, Iowa in January, New York in February, Pennsylvania in March, the Wisconsin State Supreme Court race in April, and most recently in Omaha, the mayor's race in May, Democrats have won. So the American people are actually being very clear and decisive in saying who they trust more to govern.
He just didn't set up here and flat out lied and just made up stuff. I can't. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this, man. I don't even know why I got into this, but you know, here we are. You know, same thing, repeats the same crap. You know, the same. Like I told you, I guessed what he was gonna say in this interview. I guessed before we got into it. That's how you know it's bad, and it just gets worse and worse and worse for Democrats. I love y'all. God bless you all and your family, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love, you guys.